Welcome everybody to week 2 of the community writing group. It's been a great week this week, and there's been lots of conversations in the community when I've bumped into people, and various different people have messaged saying that they really like the idea, and it kind of stimulated them to write something down. And we've had some shared writing as well, which has been great. So I thought today I'd kind of share the community writing via a PowerPoint and kind of present that to you. Each week we'll do something that's slightly different. We may not share the writing every week in this way, but as it's the first week, we thought this would be a really good idea. So last week's task was the word lockdown, just the simple word, which is a really big word for all of us because that's what we've been living in. So here's the community sharing. So we had some writing from Felicity that's agreed for us to share some of her words. So there's snippets here that I thought I would read. I remember those notorious Sunday afternoons of the 1950s with a certain fondness, and I love the feeling of Christmas as an oasis in the year, a time when you can focus solely on being with your loved ones and don't have to go anywhere or think about anything else. The one hope is that there seems to be a more general appreciation of how important basic jobs like bin men, supermarket cashiers and delivery drivers are to the whole society. Let's hope that newfound respect will last. I think lots of common threads there that maybe lots of us have been thinking. So nice to have those recorded for these shared memories. Another one of Felicity's snippets. Despite everything, there have been wonderful examples of the human spirit, the selfless bravery of the NHS staff and the carers is inspiring. Again, this is another shared community moment where we've all been out there giving everybody a round of applause on a Thursday night, all of our services, and where as community we've come together. Here's some of Mary's lockdown writing. No choice but to find contentment in solitary confinement. Terry Waite, in the foreword of his book, wrote these words: "If you read this book as a captive, take heart, your spirit can never be chained." It's sometimes good to refer back to quotes because so often various different quotes remind us of different times and different places and different feelings that resonate with us. So that's a really nice shared quote there. Perhaps we all needed to take a pause because it gave us all time to reflect on the common values centred on love. Love of family and friends, love given and received through new forms of communication, e.g. Zoom. Thanks for that, Mary. I think quite a few of us will agree that maybe we hadn't even heard about things like Zoom before this lockdown period and all of the other social media tools and devices and programs that we can use. This is great as well. It's an acrostic verse that has come from Sam Davis. Great. Often these are poems and a simple form of poetry that's often shared by English teachers within schools, but a lovely little way to use words. And Sam here has used the word lockdown. And I will read what she's put here for this acrostic verse. Local organisations can knock down obstacles with neighbours. Thank you. So, on to this week's task. Continuing with the lockdown theme, I thought we'd go with something like the greeting, because throughout this time, I'm sure lots of you will agree that even if you've been in your houses and haven't even been out, there may have been some form of contact whether it be by a letter, or whether it be by somebody knocking on the door, or certainly if you have been out and about, in your daily exercise or your shopping, you may have had a conversation with somebody that you may have never had before, or they may never have spoken to you. So I just thought, I've called it the greeting, but it can be anything to do with this new conversation or a new thought that you've had after a conversation. So I'll just go through that. This week's task is continuing with the lockdown theme, and it's called The Greeting, and it's writing about a conversation that you have had that may not have occurred prior to this COVID-19 situation. Enjoy.